What's up, guys? It's Hector from Not Too Nerdy, and as you can see, I'm a little upset. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. And yeah, so Microsoft pretty much confirmed yesterday all those rumors that people were talking about. They pretty much confirmed a lot of them, and they pretty much cleared up certain things. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It's horrible what they did. But let's get to let me just start out by saying that I am actually a game software developer. My whole thing with Xbox is that I was offered a job with them, and I was debating over if I should work with them or not. And this was during the whole rumors, and when the first rumor came out that it's always online, stuff like that. I started to doubt that this is the right company to work for, and I just recently turned down the job offer, and I was actually offered to work as a developer for them, and start out as a junior developer, but actually get a chance to work for Microsoft, which to me that was it'd be a huge accomplishment. This is what I went to school for, and this is what I love to do, but the route that they're taking is something that I did not like. And I don't know if it was a part of me as a true gamer, or was it someone that's also looking at the business aspect too and see that this will not be successful practice what they're doing. I'm not too sure which one it was. But this happened, my decision happened before this was, confirmed. So it's not like I heard about it and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm definitely not going to work for them. No, I pretty much said this before everything was confirmed. And now, I felt a little bummed out that I did it. I felt like part of me is like, you're making the right decision. If you don't feel comfortable working for a company, you shouldn't work for them. And the other part of me is like, what are you doing? There's opportunity. You can always leave them and go somewhere else. But which is not true, by the way, because I don't know if you know how gaming companies work, or actual companies like hardware companies like Microsoft slash software companies as well. But what they do is when you work for them, you also have to sign an agreement, sort of like a contract, meaning that if you were to leave or you were to get fired, that you're not allowed to work for another company for a certain amount of, for a certain term, so that you can't give secrets out to a different company or give any insight of what's going on in that company that you're working for. And that's the way Microsoft works, as well as a lot of other companies in the game industry. And Microsoft's term was really long, by the way. I mean, I don't want to really discuss the whole thing, but the term was really long, and I didn't feel comfortable about that either. So, how people in the game industry are constantly getting fired or let go, or something happens, and for me to sign a contract that I can't go somewhere else, that to me, like, that's very, scary, and I have to be careful with the company I choose. And since I didn't feel comfortable with all the rumors that was going on with them, I felt that they weren't going in the right direction. But just wanted to say that, to you guys, that's, this is giving you a whole new insight. This is someone uh, that wants to work with a developing company or a publishing company. And I'm, drawn between being a gamer and a developer. So, yeah, now that you know that information, I want to discuss everything that we heard so far that's confirmed. The last video I made, I actually made a video yesterday when the news just came out, and it had too many curses and I flipped out and I was raging. So I want to clean it up a little bit, but fair warning that if I do curse or anything, that you understand that I am really upset, and I'm sure you guys are upset as well. So yeah, let's go into the bullet points real quick, alright? The first bullet point is, by the way, you want disc or digital on the same day. Now, that's pretty cool. That's actually not a bad note, that you do have a copy of the game, both digital and the real copy. But here's the thing that people are forgetting. You don't really have that in a way, because that disc that you originally had, it's useless after that. Because that disc gets uploaded or downloaded onto your hard drive, and it's also downloaded as a backup copy or digital copy in the cloud. Now, that disc is no longer there. So here's an example. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, it's no longer there. I already bought the game, I opened it, and I downloaded it into my hard drive, and it's now also in the cloud. The end. I no longer need this anymore. Now, the next one says, access your entire games library from any Xbox One, no disc required. So pretty much that cancels out what they just said, disc or digital, the way you want it, buy the way you want, disc or digital. Like, because if you really think about it, it's still digital no matter what you do from now on, because if you buy this copy, you're still going to have the digital form and you no longer need this copy. So this is pretty much the theme with their whole statement is they tell you one thing and then they cancel it out with something else. They contradict what they just said. So access your entire games library from any Xbox One. No disc required. Now, after signing in and installing, you can play any of your games from any Xbox One because a digital copy of your game is stored on your console and in the cloud. So for example, while you were logged in at your friend's house, you can play your games. Now, this sounds good, right? You could go to your friend's house and play the game, no problem, right? This sounds like it could be a good thing. So I don't have to bring this disc anymore. Now, there's also a way bad thing, but I'll bring up that point again. So remember that, keep that in your mind that you don't need the disc pretty much anymore. You could go wherever, and wherever you go, your games could be right there with you. Next bullet point is share access to your games with everyone inside your home. Okay? Doesn't sound bad at all. I mean, this sounds great, doesn't it? That you get to share everything with the people at your home. Well, guess what? You could have done that before. That's what happens when you have a console game. If someone goes to your house, you can share whatever you have there. Hey, look, I got a disc. I can play a game now. Would you like to play a game too? Sure, just turn on my Xbox and play under my name, or just play the game. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I have the physical copy of the disc. Therefore, you are allowed to play the game. So the fact that they label that as a bullet point is fucking erroneous. Like, what are they thinking? No shit, you can share with anyone else in the household. Thank you, Microsoft, for letting me let people play games at my own household. A game that I purchased. Thank you, Microsoft. I appreciate it. I love you for it. Thank you. The next one. Give your family access to your entire games library anytime, anywhere. This one is great. So, this one you have to be very careful because it says anytime, anywhere, right? Xbox One will enable new forms of access for families. Up to 10 members of your family can log in and play from your shared games library on any Xbox One. Now this is where it starts to get tricky. You have to catch every little word that they say because this is a PR move. Now it says, just like today, a family member can play your copy of Forza Motorsport at a friend's house. Only now they will see not just Forza, but all of your shared games. You can always play your games and any one of your family members can be playing from your shared library at a given time. Now, the word that I want you guys to catch real quick is before, when they're talking about shared access to games with everyone inside your home, they keep using the words anyone can play your game on your console. Anyone, as in ANYONE, one word, anyone. But now, later on, when it says you can always play your games and any space one of your family members can be playing from your library, can be playing from your shared library. So they try to trick people by using a space in between the word anyone because they kept throwing the word anyone together before at you. So naturally, when people read, what happens is when you keep seeing the same repetitive word anyone, when you see any space one later, you're going to assume you read it wrong as in together. So you're going to think that any one of your family members can play at the same time, which is not correct. Which they're trying to say is only one member somewhere else can play. Now some people are like, well, that's a lot more than now because you're saying that someone else can log into your account, play your game files at the same time you are, so you can log in two different places. That is correct. But here's the thing. We also don't know what counts as a family member. How can you tell if someone's a family member or not? What are they going to do? Is the Connect going to look at you and take a picture of you and recognize you every single time you play? Is this the reason why Connect has to be on the whole time? And even though we'll get to that in a second, because this is another funny thing that they contradict themselves with, but we'll get there in a second. Now, here's another big one. Trade in and resell your disc-based games, okay? Today, some gamers choose to sell their old disc-based games back for cash and credit. We designed Xbox One so game publishers can enable you to trade in your games at participating retailers. Microsoft does not charge a platform fee to retailers, publishers, or consumers for enabling transfer of these games. So what did they do right there? They're pretty much saying that, they understand the whole trading thing, that everyone's trading, stuff like that. So what they're going to do, they're going to throw it to the publishers and say it's up to the publishers to decide if you're allowed to trade or not. Now, sorry, but the publishers were the ones pushing you from the start, so clearly they're not allowed, and if they do, they want every single dime for it. So that's ridiculous what Microsoft's saying. Give your games to friends. Another great one. Xbox One is designed so game publishers can enable you to give your disc-based games to your friends. There are no fees charged as part of these transfers. There are 2 requirements. You can only give them to people who have been on your friends list for 30 days, and each game can only be given once. So pretty much what you just said about everything so far. Let me just figure this out real quick. So I'm allowed to buy a game, okay? And if I want to give it to my friend, say if I'm just letting him borrow the game, I can't even let him borrow the game. Why can I not let him borrow the game? Is because if he wants to borrow the game, he's going to log in on my name. Okay, he's going to have to log in my name. Because if he logs in his name, I have to transfer my rights to the game, my license to the game, to him. I can no longer get that license back because you can only do it one time. That means that only one time you can give it to someone. When they have it, they're stuck with that game. They can never get rid of it. It's theirs for life. Or is it? Because I'm going to get to that point in a little while. Okay. In our role as a game publisher, Microsoft Studios will enable you to give your game to friends or trade in your Xbox One games at participating retailers. Third-party publishers may opt in or out of supporting games resale and may set up business terms or transfer fees with retailers. So meaning that once again it's up to the publishers, they can do whatever the hell they want to do, which we know that publishers are going to do the wrong thing because they need the money. So that's beyond the point right now. So where am I right now? Microsoft does not receive any compensation as part of this. In addition, third-party publishers can enable you to give games to friends. Loaning or renting games won't be available at launch, but we are exploring the possibilities with our partners. Okay, so loaning and renting games is not available. Right off the bat, they're saying it's not available at launch. Okay, so my question to you is that that's not available for launch, then it makes no sense over here because trade in and resell your disc-based games. So you're saying I can only get rid of it. So from right now, if anyone else wants to play or anything like that, I'm going to have to literally give them my game to play. What? Are you serious right now? This is ridiculous. As we move into the new generation of games and entertainment, from time to time, Microsoft may change its policies, terms, products, and services to reflect modifications and improvements to our services, feedback from customers and our business partners, or changes in our business priorities and business models, or for other reasons. We may also cease to offer certain services or products for similar reasons. So pretty much everything that you just said right now, you could take away anyway? Is that what you're saying right now? So how the hell do we know this is the actual statement then? How do we know that if we even buy this, that you're even going to follow this rule? You know what I mean? The fact that they're saying that they can change your mind at any moment, it's ridiculous. They put that in there because the reason why is this. So my theory is that this whole trade-in stuff was never part of their plan. They never had this in there until they heard the backlash from all these people. Now they're like, oh crap, people are upset. Let's try to trick them once again by putting out the statement. Hopefully people are going to miss out the fact that they're screwed with the game. Now let me explain something to you real quick. This is something that everyone keeps saying, well, Steam does it all the time. Steam has certain sales, okay? If you look at Microsoft games on online, the digital copy, those games will stay at the high portion, the high price for a long time. Okay? They don't have crazy Steam sales for you to download or anything like that. They stay at the highest rate for the longest time possible. Now, if we're talking about low cut prices, then we're talking a different story. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing people aren't realizing. They are claiming that they are losing money by used games. They're losing money. Money that they should be getting because all the used games that are out there. So, if they want to ultimately sell a digital copy of the game. That's what they want. They want to sell a digital copy so they can get 100% of the money. You get what I'm saying? By them getting 100% of the money, then they're extremely happy. But see, the thing is, when people say, well, they're getting 100% of the money, it means they're going to lower the price. Not necessarily. Because now, if you think about it, if they lower the price to what, $30 or $40, for example, $20 cheaper without the disc or anything like that because it's just a digital copy, if you really think about that, they're breaking even. Because all the money that they're losing for the used games, if they're selling every game cheaper, they're breaking even. Because less people, they're not going to make as much money like that. So what they're going to do, they're going to maximize the amount of money that they can make. Now that's coming from someone that, wants to be a developer. I've worked an internship for a couple companies already. I know how it works. That's what they do. They maximize it. Yes, they want to get rid of the used game market, but do not think for 1 second just because they get rid of the used game market, you guys are going to get a deal. That's not the way it works. That is not the way it works. They want to maximize the amount of money that they can make, and that's the way business works. So for you to think that, it's going to be like Steam, it's not the case. Because here's the thing, that is a PC. That is a completely different thing. That is a PC that you're doing digital copies. You're downloading a digital copy. They are still selling the physical copy. A mock physical copy because it's not even real. Because what you do is, all you do is you download it the first time. They're selling you a physical item and they're expecting you to not ever, you're not in control of it. You know what that means, guys? That means that it's kind of funny because right now with this new system, you could pretty much kiss goodbye GameFly or any rental service. Because like they said, there's not going to be a way to loan or rent a game. Now you could kiss goodbye every rental service. Now the funny thing about that is, this service that they got in place for Microsoft Xbox One is now a rental service. That's right, because you don't own the game. You don't own the copy anymore. They control when you could use it, when you could play it, and everything else. So now, before I get back to that point again, I want to explain something real quick. Other things that they mentioned already, just to let you know, is that every 24 hours it is confirmed that you have to check in your Xbox online, okay? That means you have to be connected to the internet every 24 hours. Now, if you go to your friend's house, because you're thinking, well, at least I can go to my friend's house and play under my name, and I can look at my games, my whole library somewhere else, because that's what they said. They said access your entire games library from any Xbox One. There's also a catch to that too, because now when you access your library, it has to check the internet every hour. Every hour to make sure that you are who you are, that you're not doing anything illegal. They're doing it to check you. Okay? This is someone that actually paid for the copy. They're still going to regulate and check you. So what happens if I go somewhere else, I don't know, my friend's house, and his internet goes out? Because most likely, if it's every hour, there's going to be a point where the internet, there might be a connection problem every hour. Every 24 hours, you might get away with it, but every hour, you might not. Well, what happens to that game? Well, the console won't work. The console will not work. You can only, the best part that they mentioned, you can still watch live TV. Thank you, Xbox. I'm so happy that you're allowing me to watch live TV because I couldn't do that before I bought the console. I paid $400, $500, whatever the console's gonna cost, to watch live TV and a Blu-ray movie. That's the most expensive Blu-ray movie player I ever had in my life, that I'm allowed to do that. Oh wait, my PlayStation 3 already plays a Blu-ray movie. That makes no sense to me. Now, what about all the people, military and not just military, but people that go away for summer, to like a relative's house and they might not have internet. Maybe it's grandparents or something like that. You know, like definitely the military, like I just said, like they do not have access to internet. So what you're saying is you don't want their support. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want them to buy the Xbox. Why? Because who the hell needs those people anyway, right? They're supposed to be doing their job, military people. Those kids are going to their grandparents' house. Those old people are supposed to have those internets. What are those old people doing? They better have internet. They're getting Social Security. They better be able to afford the internet. This is more than ridiculous right now. That they think that they could get away with just pushing away people. What about people in the poor areas that don't have internet or have the worst internet? So, fuck them. Who the hell cares about them? If you don't have the money, Microsoft doesn't want your business. I mean, who needs them anyway? We're rich. We're Microsoft. Bill Gates. We are rich. I mean, that's great, isn't it? So, you have to check in every 24 hours, every hour. Are you serious now? Like, and you're saying that this game is not always online, this game console is not always online, like, how are you saying that? Like, oh, and it gets better. It gets better, everyone. Because on top of that news, we have more details on the Kinect system. That the part that I really love about the Kinect. Oh, man. Alright, let me discuss the Kinect sensor real quick for you. Alright. You are in control of what Kinect can see and hear. Okay? So you control it. If you don't want certain things that Kinect can hear or control what Kinect can hear, you could, dismiss like certain things, and like if you don't want them to send certain features about your heart rate or different abilities that games could capture off the sensor, you could prevent them from sending a message. And they say that the system can be turned off. The best part is, to turn off your Xbox One, just say Xbox off. When the system is off, it's always listening for the single voice command Xbox on. And you can even turn that feature off too. So, let me get this straight. You're telling me if I want to turn off the Kinect, I just say Xbox off. Okay, makes sense. But in off mode, I could say Xbox on, and it turns on, which means that it's listening to me still, which means that it's not off. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, maybe like, someone that's done many years of programming now. But I'm pretty sure the average person could tell the difference between off and sleep mode. Because that's what you're doing with the computer. It is in sleep mode. We already have confirmation that you said that the console will not work without the Kinect. So how will the console know that the Kinect is plugged into it if it's not on? It had to send some sort of message to the console for it to say, I'm on, and the console says, okay, I tell that you're still on in order for it to work. So for them to say that, oh, you can turn it off, they're full of shit. You have to sit down and think about this. Why does a company want to always be in control when the Kinect can be on or off? Why do they want it to be on permanently? For what purpose? For advertisements and other things, to get personal information. Like, I'm not saying that, they're definitely going to do something like this, but why would you even leave it like that? Why would you want to do that? That's not perfect business sense at all. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. To betray the trust of people that purchase, your console. Now, on top of this, the fact that it does not work without the Kinect leads to a whole new problem. This Kinect is attached to something balancing itself, a cord. What if that breaks? Are you telling me that I have to go buy a new Kinect because my whole console doesn't work? So now on top of me worrying about my console remaining perfectly fine, I have to worry about an attachment to the console remaining perfectly fine for the console to work? What is this? Like, are you serious right now? This makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? That's like I have a webcam or something, and guess what? I can't use my PC if my webcam breaks. What the hell does that have to do with my PC? My webcam broke, so now all of a sudden I have to get rid of my PC too and fix it? Are you serious? This is just unbelievable. This whole thing. Like, unbelievable. Like, so, let's see what else we got here. Oh man, there's so many things YouTube. Like, I don't even know. Like, a connected device, moderately connected device. Like, they're trying to say that it's not always online, but that there's so many things you can stay connected and you can still use Skype. And come on, people. Now, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. That's all the news that they announced, pretty much. But there is one thing that I have to say personally that I feel that a lot of people forget to this point. Okay, they keep bringing up the fact that, well, PC, you're not allowed to trade games or do stuff like that because it's digital copies. This is true. But there's one major flaw of a PC game that people are forgetting, that console, the one reason that definitely separates a console from a PC is what's going on, like right now, that's going to be gone, okay? This part is the physical copy of a game. This right here is Gunstar Heroes for the Sega Genesis, right? Now, kind of interesting, this is an old game. They don't sell this game, they don't make this game anymore. The only way you can get this game, you buy this copy from someone else, a used copy from someone else. So, my question to you is, if I want this game, or if I want Ghosts and Goblins, if I want Sonic the Hedgehog, box or anything like that, I could go somewhere else, like a retro store, and pick it up. My question to you is, what exactly happens to all these games that are in the cloud or digital form of them when a company decides to drop the server for that game or for the whole system? For example, the Xbox 360 is eventually, they're going to cut the servers and focus all their servers on the Xbox One, correct? So the stuff that you have saved in the cloud, or the certain games that you have, they already said it's not going to be, you can't transport it over. You can't transport your games over, so you pretty much you're starting with a new library with a new console. So my question to you is, with all the games that I have saved, all the games I have saved on my console for the Xbox One, for example, 10 years later, would I be able to access that game if I want to? Would I be able to be like, I haven't played this game in a while, can I go to my library that I already paid for and look at the game and play it? Can I get a copy of that game and it works? Well, my answer to that is, how could it? How could you possibly do anything without the servers on anymore? Because when they move on to a new console, or if they decide the next day, you know what, we're losing too much money with the Xbox One, we decide that we're no longer going to be a part of it, and they cut their servers, they're done. What happened to all those games? I'll tell you what happened to all those games. That game now died with the console. Those games are done. The same thing with a digital copy that everyone brags about, PC. Those games are dead with the publisher. Because when a publisher goes out of business, those games are done. Because no longer can you purchase the game and put it in a number that they give you or whatever for them to confirm that you purchased a legal copy, because there is no server to confirm it anymore. Therefore, that disc that you have is no longer a game. So that's what the Xbox One is going to do to you. All this used game market is dead. Great, they succeeded, they won. But they also killed the retro market too. They also killed any physical copy of the game. There's no point of it anymore. So what you're saying to me is there's no longer any form of game that you could physically have anymore. You don't own it anymore. Now you officially are renting the game. So then you are renting the game, and you're paying $60, whatever price they charge you to rent the game, because you can only play when they want you to play, when their servers are up. God forbid their server goes down, because their server goes down, we're still screwed. My internet goes down, I can't play it. I am control to play it when they want me to play the game. It's just the way it is. Okay? No longer can you play when you play the game. You are officially renting the game. You no longer own any more video games anymore. You are now a renter. And they're going to get rich off this. So the only solution is this. First, we have to pray and hope that Sony doesn't go along with them. Because everyone swears that Sony has to do it. They have to. No one says they have to do anything. Okay? Sony could be filthy rich. I'm telling you, this would be the biggest move ever if Sony were to ever go against Xbox and say, you know what? Our console will not block used games. Now, they have to make right with the publisher. The publisher would be pissed with that statement if Sony does that. And of course, Sony might be scared because publisher, might be like, oh, we won't make any games for you anymore. But here's the thing. There's ways Sony can get around this as well. Okay? Explain to the publisher, you gotta make better games out there and people will buy your games. You got to do expansion packs and like different map packs and different things to expand the game. There's so much more solution they could do. Yes, they have the $10 online pass. There's better ways around that. Why don't you allow like the people that actually purchase the game, you're gonna get a map pack, you're gonna get an expansion pack, you're gonna get something that people that did not purchase the game are gonna have to add on to it. Do you get what I'm saying? Something like that. It makes it right. You gave someone something free that it's not a big problem for you because you're going to make that anyway in the game. So you gave someone something free in the game for purchasing the actual copy. And anyone that did not purchase the actual copy has to pay for it. They can still get it. And the great thing about this, they didn't pay for the copy, but you're still getting their money off it because they're going to want to get an expansion just like their friends. They're going to want to play more of that game because their friends are doing it. This is how you make your money. This is how you get your money back. So all those cheaters and all those haters out there that are doing that, you can still get money off them. There are better ways to do this. And they're just not thinking about it. They're thinking about 100% revenue. They want all the money. They're not thinking about a big percentage of it back. They want all of it. And that's where they're wrong. Because I'll tell you right now, if Sony chooses not to follow Xbox is in serious trouble, huge trouble, and I'm hoping Sony doesn't go along with this because Sony has a chance to save the game industry because this might kill it. I'll tell you right now, they think that people are gonna buy it anyway. I'll tell you right now, people will buy these stuff, but more people are gonna switch to PC and PC game. Everyone's gonna switch to digital copies and forget about console because everything that these consoles are offering, they're trying to get closer to PC. Well, guess what? You get close enough to PC and close enough to the price of the PC, people are going to buy a gaming PC instead of buying your console. So that's just the way it is. So Sony, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, you have an opportunity to change all this. So, I digress. Microsoft, I'm actually happy I'm not working for you guys anymore, or not working for you guys at all. And I made the right choice, but as a gamer, you guys are really, really making the wrong choices right here. This is something that wasn't necessary. There's ways around it. You could have made those publishers happy by doing other things, and you decide to give in. And then on top of it, from taking the blame from yourself, you want to blame it on a publisher and switch it to them, which they're all going to combine forces and they're all going to jointly say, let's all not allow you to use games, or let's all charge a certain amount of money so that they all are on the same page so everyone hates them all together. This is a dumb move, and hopefully Sony's the only one that could actually save this right now. Believe it or not, after the PS3 year, you never thought you'd hear someone say that Sony could be the savior to all gamers. I don't know. Well, that's all I have for you. I'm sorry to ramble on for so long, but it is Hector from Not Too Nerdy. I'm out, YouTube. Game on.